by Sean Dent. Lechner circles underneath. Dembo breaks up the baseline, comes into Lechner, fires one off the baseline over Wilkie and scores. He muscles his way past Lechner, but the ball gets away, but Wilkie gets it back, passes it out to Countryman, stolen by Sean Dent. Dent on the layup is good. So Dent takes it away, bounces it into Brian Robinson. Robinson on the fadeaway jumper off the glass, hits the front rim, no good. Here comes the fast break. Ahead it comes to Turk Boyd, and Boyd's got an easy basket.
That's something Colorado's going to have to get used to.
Jones is senior out of Detroit, Michigan, also new in the ball game. He gets it underneath. He had Brent Vaughn beat and gets an easy basket. Wide on the left, it comes on top to Lodgins. Lodgins works it into Dembo. Dembo takes it down the lane and scores. Dennis Dembo gets his. Not at all. Move comes into Dembo from the corner, switch.
Oh, that's a three-pointer.
That's a three-point basket. Down to the baseline, comes into Brian Robinson, loses the ball. Picked up by Robin Davis, and Davis is going to come all the way down. Wise has the ball stolen away by Turk Boyd. Boyd comes down, he feeds it off to Davis, and Robin Davis comes around.
He's the shooter, the senior, led the Metro in scoring. Stolen by Dent. Here they come. Got to get Banks to beat, and it's Dembo for the jam. Dent, patience, Lechner inside, turn around, got it. Now to the far side, and the jumper by Boyd is good. The three-pointer. Fox, he can fill it from there. Reggie stolen away. Back to Dent, inside. Nice pass to Willard. Good patience by the McClendon. Nice move. Lechner tips it up, and finally he recovers. Outlets to Dent. Ahead to Reggie Fox. Loses the basketball, recovers, and gets the banker.
Almost traveled without.
Fennis. Got it. Three-pointer for Fennis. Working on Williams. Spins and scores. Nice move. Misses the second. Rebound, Dembo. Spins. Double pump. Gets his own rebound and score. Dembo now with 11.
Of 222 fans on hand at El Paso last night. Fennis Dembo, who was held to just 9 points, hit the first bucket of the game as Wyoming grabbed a 10-6 lead. UTEP came back, though, behind Chris Sandel here on the slam, part of a 7-0 run, 13-10 UTEP. Don Haskins was afraid that his bench would spell doom, but he got this nice effort from freshman Prince Stewart as UTEP trailed by just one, 21-20. Thanks to Wyoming's cold shooting in the first half, 31%, the Miners were able to pull out a 31-27 lead at halftime. Second half, Tim Hardaway, who finished with 18, goes in for 2 as UTEP opened up an 8-point lead. Hardaway now on the pass to Wayne Campbell as the Miners had the 5th-ranked Cowboys on the ropes. But Benny D's crew came back. Reggie Fox hit the three-pointer, cutting it to 47-45 with 10 minutes to go. Big loss for UTEP when Chris Sandel picked up his 5th foul of the night with 4 minutes to go. But once again, Haskins' bunch dug deeper. Tim Hardaway for 3. And on the very next play, Soup Campbell with the rebound off a Fox miss. Hardaway takes it all the way in, 59-58 Miners. Terry Stallworth also contributed to UTEP's cause off the bench. 2 of his 7 points were biggies, 63-59 UTEP. The Miners then hit free throws down the stretch as UTEP handed Wyoming its first loss, 68-62. When it was over, Cowboy coach Benny Dees took the loss in stride. Pass into Lechner. He's open underneath and slams it down. Melvin Scarborough and McGee did a good job. There's Fennis underneath. Pumps it up. It goes, and he's fouled. 12 minutes to play. 8 out of 9 on the season. Yeah, he's done a good job. Here's Dembo. Baseline. Gets it. Fennis powers one up it to Longley against Hodges. Shot no good. Slapped around. Leffel comes out. Thomas. Lobos come back with it. Thomas. Against Davis rather easily. Baseline shot. Oh, but a follow. This one will count. Dembo caught at 7-1 is a little bigger than Eric. There's the lob. Puts it up and in as he got away. New Mexico with the big lead. Longley has the ball in the paint. Shovels it underneath. Oh, beauty. Nice pass by the Australian freshman to Rogers, who gets... Down low, up and good.
Vucevic can't let him have a short period of time. Smith missing on the shot here. Looked like it was going up and in. Vucevic gets it back, misses the putback. Chapman gets the ball back. He gets another shot at it. Fennis picks up the foul. To Reggie Fox, and he lays it in. Build their lead to 10 here. Oh, a beautiful lob feed to Marty Hawes, and he sets it up as he got a 41. And watch his shot. Prettiest shot of the night, I think. Michael Smith rolling through the lane with a left-hand hook. That's pretty. I think he's going to make somebody a first with it. Chapman comes out. There's Dembo in the middle. Puts it up. Gets it. That's it. Then it is. They'll be pushing and shoving. Smith in the key. Shot won't go. Follows. That will go. How many times? Here comes Vince. Took it away from Paul. Lays it up and misses a slam. Hall and Rich Ball tonight. Cowboys ball. There's Lecter underneath. Slams it down. Nice feed from Scott has it. Starts down. The lob taken away. Great play by Summers. Down court to Fennis. Yes. He tries it. It's rejected nicely by Clausel, but he gets it back and hits it. Durham, an excellent shooter, good ball player. Court, and it pays off when Turcotte pulls up here and cans the jump shot. Shot is up and in and out of there. Rebounded by Willie Jones, and he scores and is fouled. Willie Jones, great rebounding. Lecter eyes him warily to Shippen. Puts it up from outside. Shippen gets it. A three-pointer. Has it to Fox. They've got to hurry. Fox puts it up from outside. It rolls off. Rebound. Goes out of bounds. It'll be CSU's basketball. And that will about do it with 2 seconds to go. Willie Jones, I believe, will be whistled for the foul.
lead to Dembo. 2 points. 1 point now with Den out of there. Now they'll sag off the Summers. Lechner up and in for 2. Gary Colby, as you say, from Laramie, and we have pressure applied to New Mexico. They got Longley down at the other end, and boy, he had it. He likes that long-range bombing, by the way. He's a good outside shooter. Pick there. He's learning quick. That drive, and there's Hunter Green. Oh, there he goes. That's Fox. And the rebound is tapped into the hands of Davis, who puts it away. That Gary's put in has fought back. 3-point bomb is online by Dembo. Rogers drive, but it doesn't go, and we're going the other way with the Cowboys. Look at him go. I'll tell you something. That's the same thing. Listen to the crowd. Bill, he did that at San Diego's best.
To go here in the first half. His team has failed to score. Well, look at the pass. Skip that out. Delvin Smith in the corner. Both the two cats. Very good. Put the feet together.
Aztecs' Jim Brandenburg.
Everybody except Robin Davis, who picks up Ross, the outside shooter. They give Summers the shot, and he buried. Turn around, Hawkins off the glass and through. There's Lechner. Lechner's got it now. He is so strong. Williams in the corner, draws Gent's attention and throws it away. Lead pass, break, Nimble. Church boy for Company Espinosa goes low. The ball is tapped away by Fox. He's playing a whale in the ball game this afternoon. Turk Boyd to the rim. Boy, Davis at the wing. Summers trying to get the ball inside. Dembo lets it rip from outside. Got it.
I'll tell you something. That's a Kiki Vandeweghe move. Look at the defender's speed. He backs off, and Dembo buries the biggest lead of the night, 21.
50-29. 11 points for Dembo.
Pre-game ceremony.
Sean!
He finished for the last. There's his mother and his sister up in San Antonio. This is the first time his mother has seen a game at Laramie. She's seen Fennis on the road a couple of times, but just almost 3 minutes into this game. Childs taking it to the glass against the Cowboys in the pavilion. Dembo stutters and then hits off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound and takes it to the hole. Almost a travel initially by Darnell Jones. Dodd again tried to take it to the low post, and look at Dent dribbling around everyone. Backed up behind the back pass. Again, he will post down low, waiting for something to happen inside to Chris Childs, who also goes to the low post. Tipped in by Dodd. Oh my, great dive. And the Broncos Dent over to Fennis Dembo. Nice pass inside to Lechner. Offensive. Basket counts. Blocking foul on Arnell Jones. Moments ago, Dembo coming in front of Brian King. Watch this. Oh, we got to stay on this shot. Ranked Wyoming Cowboys on its very, very tough home floor to boot. Benny Dees, I guarantee you this. Benny Dees is glad that he does not have to face the Broncos again this year, and look at him pacing. After
Bailey trying to penetrate. Turcotte's the man here with 5 seconds left off the baseline. We're tied with 3 seconds. Timeout with 2.
The effort here by Turcotte. Time running down, 3 seconds. Turcotte has been terrific tonight. He goes up, doesn't get anything but the bottom of the net. CSU must not commit a foul. That's what Tiny Grant is telling his people. The second thing, Wyoming must make sure when they throw the ball inbounds, it touches somebody. They'll try and throw it long. If it doesn't touch somebody, it comes back to the original spot.
Well, you pointed it out so accurately, Irv. At the free throw line, Lechner having the problems down the stretch of past ball games, and he did it again here, missing, giving Colorado State the chance to tie, which they did. And they did it perfectly. They didn't give Wyoming much of a chance to win the ball game in regulation time. Just 2 seconds left.
Watch deep now. Lechner is surrounded by 2 people. The key here, the ball must be touched. If this guy throws it long over everybody.
Lechner could win it. Oh, he does. Does it count? Yes, it does.
Well, you couldn't get a better one. 6'11" Lechner goes up. No foul. Nothing but the bottom.
An unbelievable finish for those Cowboys.
This is Dembo working against Gathers.
Look at him in front of him. There's no chance. Touch the basketball again.
For 3, but it will not go. Almost put back. Still left it, and getting the put back was Mark Armstrong, 6'6" senior from Riverside. Blocked by Fennis Dembo.
Having the ultimate insult by getting the game at the other end. The free throw. Each team 3 out of 3 at the stripe. It is 27 for Wyoming and 17 for Loyola. That might change right here. Gathers gets his first and second basket of the day. 9-52 lead. 14 seconds to go.
It's all Loyola right now. This thing is totally turned around.
Did Yost get the tip?
He's got a foul, too. That shot's good.
Willie Jones, 3 on 2.
Nice.
Nice break. Marvin Davis getting the back at the stripe. Has 8 play live action, 7:55 remaining, 91-81, and the basket's going to count, and there's a foul.
They have no answer in the blocks. Deflected
by Pryor. Fast break, 2 on 1. Kimball.
Showtime. That's a charge.
Basketball history for this season. Three-pointer by Roselle Williams. That wraps it up, 119-115. So Loyola Marymount scoring 119 to Wyoming's 115 will move on to play North Carolina on Saturday. Winning this one by 4 and being sparked by Bo Kimball, who wound up with 29 points. 119-115. We'll be back.
Northeast Louisiana led most of the first half over the Cowboys, but a Wyoming steal and a resulting layup by Kenny Smith helped the Pokes get back into the game. Northeast Louisiana used some excellent perimeter shooting like this three-pointer from Carlos Funches to stay in front. At halftime, though, Wyoming had rallied to take a 35-30 lead. Second half, and Northeast regained the lead and built a 10-point advantage, again using that three-point shot to keep Wyoming off balance. Wyoming's Reginald Slater was a force inside. He got a putback for 2 of his 16 points. He also pulled down 20 rebounds. And Tim Bro was finding a way to get open. Bro had a solid second half, getting 2 of his 13 points on a slam to put Wyoming in front 67-64. Still, Northeast refused to fold. Fred Thompson made a tough jumper to keep his team in it. Northeast was forced to foul, and Wyoming converted some key free throws down the stretch to hold off the Indians. The come-from-behind effort resulted in a birthday present for Cowboy coach Benny Dees, who turned 53 yesterday. The finishing touch was a putback jam by Quinn Higgins as Wyoming won 75-66. And when I talked with Coach Dees after the game, he seemed calm, cool, and collected despite the close call.
Well, it may seem that way, George. I'm certainly not. That was a tough win. I have a lot of respect for Northeast. They have all those seniors. They know how to play, and I thought it was a satisfying win for us the way we had to come back. We got down 9 and played very soft right after the half, and then came back and played tough. And it's the kind of ball game the young guys need to win, and I hope it really helps us, George.
You really turned it up on defense in that final 10 minutes.
We did. We had guys like Ricky Henry and Travis Butler and Kenny Smith who were pretty good defenders, and they did. They overplayed it, caused some turnovers, kind of ran them out of their offense, and won the basketball game for us. That stretch right there defensively.
You had a lot of guys that played well, but I thought down the stretch, Tim Bro really wanted the ball.
George, he did, and we've been wanting to see that. Tim has struggled so much this year, and he's a very talented player, and it was really gratifying to see him want the ball, make some clutch baskets down the stretch, and take it to the hoop, too.
It was fun to see this crowd get into it. I think that helped some.
Hey, it wasn't for the crowd, we don't make it. The crowd was just absolutely great. This is a great Casper crowd, and our kids in the locker room were talking about it after the ball game. They really enjoy playing here.
Well, that's great. It was a lot of fun. One final question. I know you're turning your attention already to those Cal State guys.
Well, they have 2 of the better players around, and Sabalas and Hill, and right now in my mind, I'm just wondering who in the world on our team's going to guard them. We'll probably Butler and Henry will probably draw Hill, and I don't know who in the world we're going to put on Sabalas. He's really a good player.
the three-pointer. Drives the lane to the left hand.
Plays,
He's a young freshman, has a lot of guts under there. He'll shoot the outside shot. He'll penetrate. He's given the zone and go to work on Higgins.
There he goes. Oh, what a move. And the pass to Rydell. And Grant finishes it off.
The zone stopped Grant for a while, but as we said, it leaves a lot of holes rebounding-wise.
Tim Breaux gets the hoop and the foul.
Oh, Barnett's done a great job of running this Wyoming second-half attack.
And Reggie Slater does a great job, but Tommy was cut off with the pass.
Both Connors and Chapman.
And Chapman found series. Butler, three-point shot, no. Yes, three-point shot just behind the line.
And he says, now, wait a minute now.
Let's listen.
Very odd.
It's a 4-point Wyoming lead. This one is over. There's really nothing Utah can do to win this game. Rydell just has to let it go, and that's it. As the buzzer sounds, the Wyoming Cowboys have come into Salt Lake City and done a number on Utah. The favored Utes are disappointed as they end their home season with a loss.
It's Tim Breaux, averaged 18 a game over his last 5. Down the middle, here's Page, jumper on the way. It's Higgins, rather. Higgins puts it home.
First points of the ball game, 2-0. Wyoming leads it.
Higgins looks for Slater. Out front, he hits Reggie. Dribbles down the middle. He stops. He shoots from 10, and he's got it. He shoots 60.5% from the floor on the season. And the Cowboy Slater cross court left wing. It gets to Smith at the foul line. Here's Higgins' jumper, and he's got it. Higgins with his first field goal. To have you with us. Van Dyke left wing, in low to Davis. Antonio back to Van Dyke on the wing. Dribbles into the lane. He throws one up, bank on the run, and it goes. David Van Dyke playing one of his better halves. Higgins left wing, Kenny Smith. He fires for 3. It's on the way, he hits it. Kenny Smith's first points of the game. Breaux is the only team, so the Miners will be in the bonus for the remainder of the half. Foster down the middle, leans in for the bank from out front, and he's got it. Greg Foster to Butler out top, right wing Kenny Smith. Pump fakes, comes around Van Dyke for the shot on the way. It bounces twice on the iron, he missed it. Rebound Slater, he goes up strong and scores over both Foster and Davis.
Ball very much this year, but controlling the clock right now.
Foster above the foul line, shoots and he gets it. Nice shot by Foster, who has 7 points in the ball game. Barnett has it above the foul line, in low to Slater. He turns, pump fakes, he goes up strong with a half hook and score. Lane goes behind the back, can't shed Barnett. Now to Stewart, comes down the middle, leans in for the shot on the run, and it goes. Prince Stewart's first points of the second half. Third to Butler. Right wing side, here's Breaux on the way for 3, and he's got it. They found the open man. It was Tim Breaux. Davis has it, working against Reggie Slater. Antonio beats Slater down the middle all the way for the two-hand jam. He nailed Reggie Slater to the arena auditorium floor.
Audio.
Going after that loose ball. Here's Tim Breaux and Quinn Higgins checking in.
Here's Gaines. And underneath, Houston, turn around, it will drop in there, and he's fouled by Slater.
Hawaii running their motion offense now in the half court.
Houston, oh yes. Houston put tough. Into Smalls, gets underneath, shot, will go, and it's going to count. He just threw it up there. Gaines with it, he gets a pick, kicks it back to Houston along the baseline, rolls off, tip up, it's good, it's going to count. Comes across the timeline, spins, puts up the jumper way outside. It's way short, and this ball game is over. Hawaii wins it 66-63. Well, the Cowboys had a shot at the end, but the three-point attempt was way short. That would have tied it. And our final score, the Hawaii Rainbows have won it 6.
Makes $8,000 more than that of Senator Simpson's. Over in the House, Representative Craig Thomas has a staff of 13, which is generally paid less than that of his 2 senators. The Wyoming Medical Center and the RC Cab Company are trying to promote a safe New Year's Eve by offering free cab rides to anyone who might overindulge in the holiday spirit. K2's Barbara Reichert has details.
For the 4th year in a row, the Wyoming Medical Center will pay the taxicab fare for anyone too intoxicated to drive home over New Year's. Anyone needing a ride home between 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve until 5 o'clock the next morning can call the RC Cab Company and get a free ride. Wyoming Medical Center President Doug Bird says he thinks the program is a good idea because he would rather spend the $200 to $300 they have in the past for the program and not see an influx of patients in the emergency room because of drinking and driving over the holiday.
We feel very strong that it's a good community thing to do, a community service. It doesn't cost us a great deal. We'd much rather have our patients treated in our emergency room for illnesses and things not related to being in an accident and involving alcohol. Anything we can do to prevent that, we'd like to do. We do see that all the time, and it's a very sad and often traumatic event.
The service will be provided for anyone who's had a little too much to drink and needs a ride home within the Casper vicinity, including Paradise Valley, Mills, Mountain View, and Evansville.
In the past, it's been usually the bar owner or somebody working in the bar. Often the person that's had a little bit too much to drink themselves call, or a friend. It can be anybody that can call that's in the area. Usually there's a kind of a people watch out for people, so to speak, in bars. You know, some guy's really loaded and they see him digging for his keys or something. They'll say, hey, wait a minute. And on this particular night, they can say, hey, there's an alternative here. You can get a ride home for free, no questions asked, and we're glad to do it.
Free rides home will also be provided by E&F Wrecking, who will tow you and your vehicle home if you've had a little bit too much to drink and don't want to drive. The service is a national program promoted by Operating Towers Against Drunk Driving, and E&F Trucking provides the service year-round. Barbara Reichert, K2 News.
A Fremont County legislator says he plans to introduce a bill to help the owners of underground fuel storage tanks meet their insurance requirements. Federal law requires that by next October, tank owners must have proof of financial responsibility or at least $1 million in pollution insurance if their tanks begin to leak. And Representative Dennis Tippett says those requirements could threaten the existence of small service stations in Wyoming. Tippett says his bill would set up a special state insurance pool so that tank owners who qualify would have all but $30,000 of their insurance requirement guaranteed by the state. Governor Sullivan says Wyoming should carve a new niche for itself as we approach the 21st century. In his New Year's message, the governor urged Wyoming residents to work together in the coming year. He also says the centennial year of 1990 is a good time to look back on the state's heritage and to look ahead to the challenges of the future. Sullivan is also urging everyone to have a good time on New Year's Eve, but don't drink and drive. Next in sports, lots of college basketball action, but the big games were right here as the Wyoming Cowboys host another Cowboy shootout. We'll have a live report from the event center. We'll be right back.
There's never been an offer like this before. The guaranteed rebate. Now you can get $1,000 in a 1990 Plymouth Voyager, Plymouth Laser, Chrysler LeBaron convertible, or a New Yorker Fifth Avenue, even an Imperial. If the rebate goes up during this model year, we'll pay you the difference. The guaranteed rebate from Chrysler Plymouth. No other car company has ever done that. Offer ends soon.
How long before U.S. troops can leave Panama? Will U.S. defense policy be affected by the collapse of communist governments in Eastern Europe? And what about this plan to put MX missiles on railroad cars? Those questions and the answers this weekend on Report to Wyoming, when our guest is former Wyoming Congressman and U.S. Defense Secretary Dick Cheney. That's Report to Wyoming this Saturday at 5 and Sunday morning at 11:30 on K2 television.
Good evening. Day number 1 of the Cowboys Shootout Basketball Tournament from the Casper Event Center. The Wyoming Cowboys are playing Northeast Louisiana right now. We'll have a live update in just a moment. First, let's see some of the highlights of the first game between Middle Tennessee State and Cal State Fullerton. The Cal State Fullerton Titans, they will be in blue, and their main man is Cedric Ceballos. He had 22 points today, goes right along the baseline and scores. Middle Tennessee tried their best to hang in there in the second half of play. Melandrick Webb with the short jumper. He fouled and it converted the three-point play. Titans had all the shots they needed. Here is Wayne Williams, cans that one, but they were kind of lethargic in the second half. Talk about breaks. Ceballos on the free throw line misses it, but will grab the rebound, goes right to the bucket for 2. And after that, MTSU play catch-up. Robert Taylor answers that bucket, but it wasn't enough as Cal State Fullerton moves on to the shootout championship. The final in that game was 77-69. Cal State moves into the 9 o'clock game. Middle Tennessee State will play the loser of the Wyoming Northeast Louisiana game. So the Wyoming Cowboys now at 5-4. They would like to move into tomorrow's championship game versus Cal State Fullerton. Let's go live to the Casper Event Center and George Cave for an update. George?
Thank you very much, Frank. We have a whale of a ball game going on here as the Cowboys are battling Northeast Louisiana. It's nip and tuck early in the second half, and there's a great crowd of about 4,900 on hand cheering the Cowboys on. Let's check some of those first half highlights before you tell you what's happening right now. The Cowboys in white in the first half. Tim Bro cannot hit here, but Reginald Slater is there for the follow shot. Northeast Louisiana was able to get the ball inside to Philip Craig for an easy hoop. Now Wyoming tried to hawk the ball. Kenny Smith got loose after a steal. He scored and was fouled. Still, Northeast remained in front. Chad Jacobs gets a basket from in close for the Indians as they hung on to the lead. Wyoming just couldn't stop Louisiana early in the half. Troy Cobb hit the jump shot. The Cowboys got back into it as Jacobs missed, and we'll see Kenny Smith able to get the pass down court to Michael Brown for the score as the Cowboys grabbed a 35-30 lead at the half. Now we'll check some of the live action here in the final second half of play. We're down to 14:48 to go in the ball game, and the Wyoming Cowboys are down by 4 points. At the line, Travis Butler, and it rolls off. The Cowboys in white, Northeast Louisiana in the dark uniforms, the maroon uniforms, before nearly 5,000 enthusiastic fans at the event center. The visitors from Monroe, Louisiana, up by 4 points, 44-40, as they miss, but they've been getting second shots. This time, though, Kenny Smith comes away with it, but loses the basketball, and they get a cheap one underneath. So now the Cowboys are down by 6 points. Reggie Slater led Wyoming scoring in the first half with 10 points and 13 rebounds. Wyoming on the attack here. We'll try to follow this play before we go back to Frank Gambino. Kenny Smith with the ball in the backcourt. Pulls up for the jump shot. It goes. It will not count. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Our score from the Casper Event Center, Northeast Louisiana 46, Wyoming 40. I'm George Kay reporting live, and now back to Frank Gambino.
Thank you very much, George. If we have time, we'll go back to the event center for another live update. Let's check out some of the other college basketball scores from around the country. Now, UTEP is playing in the Sun Carnival Tournament in El Paso. I do not have a score on that, but would you believe CSU is leading number 24, North Carolina, 65-45 in the second half. No score yet between Colorado and UMass, and it was Southern Illinois defeating Air Force 89-74. And it was number 2 Kansas over Texas Pan Am 103-82. Georgetown has defeated Northern Iowa 83-49. Number 4 Illinois beat Grambling 97-73. Number 6 Oklahoma, no mistake, 147-94 over North Texas. It was Ball State 59, Memphis State 51 now in the second half. Number 16 UCLA has defeated East Tennessee State 115-66. Number 17 St. John's leads Davidson 72-49 in the second. North Carolina State over Seton Hall 65-59. No score yet between Purdue and Arizona. Number 22 Alabama leads Iona 35-26 at the half.